When it comes to emojis, they are the fastest growing language in our history. So where do they come from? Let's go back to 1982 and learn about their history together. The background to the invention of emojis is very interesting, influenced as it was by technological progress, cultural change, and the need for communication. The first emoji appeared in Japan in 1999, thanks to Shigetaka Kurita, who worked for the mobile company NTT Docomo. At the time, the mobile internet was taking off and people were increasingly using their phones to send text messages. However, with the small screens and limited characters of early mobile phones, it was difficult to convey emotions, tone, or nuances. Shigetaka Kurita is the creator of emoticons. In 1999, while working for the Japanese telecommunications company NTT Docomo, Kurita designed the first set of 176 emoticons. In terms of historical context, this happened in the late 1990s, a period when the internet began to become mainstream and mobile phones became a major part of everyday life. This was also the period when instant messaging, such as ICQ and AOL Instant Messenger, online forums, and early social networks began to emerge, and people started chatting in real time and wanted faster ways to express themselves. So, in a way, emojis can be seen as a response to the technical limitations of early mobile devices and the social and cultural need for faster, more informal communication. Interestingly, emojis became popular so quickly around the world, they now play an important role in cross-cultural, cross-language online communication. It was not until 2007 that Google proposed creating a universal emoji standard like the Unicode Consortium to unify emoji across platforms. In 2010, emoji was incorporated into Unicode 6.0, achieving global unified coding, and emoji quickly became popular around the world. And with the continuous development of smartphones, emoji can no longer meet the growing demand of the general public for picture-text communication. Some professional producers have created emoji packs that combine pictures and text. This undoubtedly allows for a greater amount of information and emotion to be conveyed. The original intention of emoticons was still to enrich text-based communication by conveying emotion, tone, and context. However, the technology has evolved into a much more sophisticated and versatile tool, which is likely to be used in ways Kurita could not have anticipated, especially given the global adoption of emoticons and the way they have become intertwined with cultural trends, online identities, and even social movements. In short, while the scope and degree of emoji use has expanded beyond the original design, the core of its use, to make digital communication more expressive and emotional, remains true. Let's move on to part 2, the importance and influence of emoticons. This cat is drinking cola, this cat is using chopsticks, this cat looks confused, and this cat is crying. But how do we know that? That's the work of symbols. Emoticons are a type of non-linguistic symbol that conveys emotions and attitudes through images, symbols, or animations. They make written communication more vivid and expressive. Emoticons are a visual way of communicating that has changed how people express emotions, share information, and convey opinions in the digital age. Their importance is seen in emotional expression, effective communication, and cultural dissemination, especially among young people. So, why are emoticons important in communication? First, they enhance emotional expression and fill in the gaps of digital communication. Compared to words alone, emoticons can quickly convey feelings. Combining emoticons with text is very common in modern communication. This mix not only improves how we express information, but also helps avoid misunderstandings. For example, if you say, "I'm so tired today," and add an emoticon that shows fatigue, the other person can better understand how you feel. This combination makes communication more lively and relatable. When chatting online, the lack of tone and facial expressions can easily lead to misunderstandings. Emoticons help clarify the tone, making our messages clearer and more engaging. Second, emoticons improve communication efficiency. With just a quick tap, you can send them. In today's fast-paced social media and messaging apps, emoticons can express a complete thought with a single symbol, skipping the typing step. This is especially helpful in mobile communication, where it reduces typing time and boosts efficiency. Instant messaging apps have features that allow users to easily click or search for emoticons that fit their current feelings. This immediacy and convenience make emoticons an essential part of modern communication. Moreover, emoticons serve as a universal visual language. Even if people speak different languages, their understanding of emoticons tends to be similar. In cultural exchanges, users from different regions create their own emoticon cultures, like the popular Doge meme in China. This shared understanding helps bridge communication gaps across cultures.
On the internet, where we cannot see the real person, images can compensate for the absence of some situations, but can they really help us understand each other? First of all, images can easily cause a digital divide due to the polysemy and subculture binding characteristics of images. A significant digital language gap has formed between generations. This gap not only stems from differences in technology usage habits, but also from the unfamiliarity of different age groups with the cultural context behind the symbols. For example, differences between generations can lead to differences in the interpretation of emoticon images. A smiling face may mean, heh, to young people, but it can be interpreted as friendly by older people. Second, images also have their own inherent structural dilemma. That is, the Tower of Babel of symbols, from generation to circle. Intergenerational differences are only the tip of the iceberg of the digital divide. A deeper problem is the symbolic isolation of circle culture. Emoji can increase the cultural identity of a circle, but at the same time it can also lead to communication barriers between different circles. For example, the smiley face OK generally means, no problem, in Western cultures, but it has insulting connotations in Brazil and some parts of the Middle East. The skull and crossbones symbol in gaming circles represents the humorous meaning of laughing until you collapse, but in ordinary social circles, it often carries negative cultural connotations such as corpse and violence. This Tower of Babel of symbols reveals the deep contradiction of emoji communication. We have created a richer tool for expression, but we may also have built a higher wall of understanding. As linguist David Crystal says, images are both bridges and mirrors. They connect the stratosphere, but reflect the strangeness of the outside world. That's all we have. Thank you very much for your time and for watching.